maar even komen. En die nieuwsstudio gaat staan nu?
Hij staat live op de website, live in de meeting.
Of heb je hem op de website gezet?
Ja, de link. Hij is niet, maar wel de link.
We zijn ook gewoon vol. We zijn ook even kijken van vol.
Ja, hij is te laat eigenlijk. Ah, dat is wel een heel tof idee. Ja, dat wordt ja, te laat. Ik heb deze weer opgenomen.
Welcome everybody. Even als ik hoor, yes, thank you very much. I am Wim Giesman, initiator of the TheThingsNetwork. Today we're going to tell a story about building a crowdsourced, open, free internet data network. First of all, I want to thank Rockstart for providing this space. It's for rent, so if you like it, contact them for more information. Before we start, I want to give the word to Gerbaron. Gerbaron is the CTO of Amsterdam, so anything to do with innovation, new things, technology. He's the man in the city of Amsterdam, and yeah, the floor is yours.
Thanks. And also thank you, because I mean, the thing we like most about this initiative that we didn't do anything. I mean, it's just you and your team setting this up, and actually this is the way innovation gains more speed and you involve the government starting from the beginning, I would say. So, but it is great to be here actually, and I'm very happy that the TheThingsNetwork is, well, actually I would say getting up, is up already actually on the roof of this building in our place in Amsterdam. And I think it will be very disruptive in making the next steps of everything we, well, usually call the Internet of Things for everything. Smart cities, intelligent cities, smart and connected cities, etc. I'll pick your favorite vendor and you find the naming in your brand. But every time we start to do something for big system integration plans with a telco, a city, making these big plans to roll out stuff over the world like we do with traditional IT systems, etc. And then we met only 2-3 weeks ago basically and said, well, how to work differently. I mean, the idea of networks is that it's meshed and that you can make several nodes, and actually but actually something you could crowdsource or create by the crowd in weeks basically, so you don't need to make implementation plans of years anymore. You can get something up to speed on a global scale in weeks. And I thought, well, actually, you're right, I would have thought I would have thought it myself, like maybe many of you. And so this is going to help us as a city, and all the ideas we've been having for the last years. I mean, we're connecting everything at the moment, all our assets. I mean, think of lights, think of bridges, even charging points, or etc. Everything is being connected, and we're still struggling with how to do it. And there are many other things we would like to connect, and we see many opportunities to do so. I mean, like the example you gave to do a little sensor in a boat. So we need to get boats away. When they're filled with water, it's a bit more work, and they're not filled with water. So it helps us as well to make sure the boats are not filled with water, because a sensor will tell you about is there water in the boat, and you can get the water out. And from our perspective, I mean, everything that contributes to more connectivity to the city, to more infrastructure and networks in the city, which enables more products and services created by you guys, probably, not by ourselves, hopefully, will help us to make the city more livable, more resilient, etc. So now we're going to make the next step, because for the last years when we talked about the Internet of Everything and connecting stuff, I mean, it was about maybe we can put a sensor for air quality, maybe we can do a sensor for this. But now we're in the level that, I mean, everything is possible, and a network like this, which will be deployed, well, like I said, faster than any other network, probably will be more resilient as well because of the structure of it, and probably will be more, well, like we see it as a city in many ways, because it's not owned by somebody or run a company. It's owned by all of you and by everyone. So it's open, it's accessible, and we own it together. So we would like to contribute to this initiative in many ways. I mean, like I said, but there are many challenges in the city we could solve by adding connectivity, by adding smart solutions, informing us about stuff, helping us to prevent all types of stuff with regards to water, with regards to mobility, etc. So we'll be very happy to see if we can play a role and, well, help you developing services, facilitate that, etc. So do contact me about that, because we see that this is the future for our city in many ways. Secondly, it's something we put in a broader perspective. And currently, I mean, during sale, all the townships have beacons, LoRa beacons as well. On a beacon mile, Paul is over here, who's responsible for the beacon mile, Paul wearing in the back of the room. Where we try to create living labs to develop stuff in real, create awareness for the opportunities, and to see what's our role, how we can help you to do this as sound as possible. So, most important thing I have to say, basically, hopefully you will have a great, inspiring day, basically. Hopefully we develop new products and services with the speed this network will be deployed. Please let me know when there are any rules or regulations that bother you to do this. Please let me know when there are opportunities we miss as a city, and there are many opportunities we miss as a city, I can tell you, where we can facilitate and can help. Because, well, in every way we can, we endorse the development of this network and you making use of it and developing new products and services. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Gert. I'm going to continue with the story about how TheThingsNetwork came to where it is today. I'm going to start up with a little thing. If you see this picture, says Internet of Things. It's already a hype for a long time. And actually, what Internet of Things is what it says. It's connecting anything to the Internet. So anything you can imagine that holds a current, it should be able to connect to the Internet. And if you look at current technologies we have around to be able to connect a device to the Internet, we have Wi-Fi, we have Bluetooth, and we have 3G. And 6 weeks ago, I came across another technology called LoRaWAN, and I was amazed by it from the start. If you look at what features are, I think it's this long range. It can reach up to like 5 kilometers. It's low battery, so the device can stay online on a single charge for around 2 to 3 years. It can support a lot of devices. It has a small bandwidth, so it's good for really small sensor-like data. And I think the most interesting thing is that it's really low cost. If you compare it to all the other alternatives, is that you see, for instance, Wi-Fi, 3G, like are really power consuming. 3G, you still need a mobile subscription, and for instance, Bluetooth is really dependent on your mobile phone to eventually connect to the internet. So I was at Glimborn, at Paul's and Jonathan's place. And he showed me the technology, and I thought, okay, if these costs are so low, so a gateway for covering an area with a radius of around 5 kilometers costs around 1,500 euros. So I thought, okay, then we could make such a network for the entire city of Amsterdam for like a fraction of the cost you would otherwise do for mobile data networks. And so I was looking at like how would that look like, because and how are other people that are doing this and companies doing this is that if you install such a gateway, connects to your boat, your bike, even your cat, the application you're using right now, then your fridge or your keys to find them, and then the data is being transmitted to a gatekeeper, a data stored, and if you want to reach your data as an application developer, you need to pay a fee for that. And that's very logical because you want to make if you want to have this as a business, you need to make money out of it, and you need to check like what's the consumption of your service, so you can charge your customers. So that's a model. But I thought if the price is so low, we only need a few people in Amsterdam that are willing to install such a gateway, and we could make a different architecture. And this is an architecture that's way more similar to how the internet actually works. So actually, here are all these devices, they send messages, packages. So if you look at the internet, packages are sent around, and the package comes to the gateway, and imagine it like an envelope with an IP address on it, and instead of going through a data storage central point, it goes directly to the application. And this way you can build a really decentralized model. So this is just a simple example, it's one gateway, but if you look at Syria and Amsterdam now we have 10. So this was the idea. So I told a few people about this idea, and John was talking as well, and he thought it was a good idea. So and John has a very good background in embedded programming and other types of technology. And so we decided to tell the story of a crowdsourced, decentralized, open and free Internet of Things data network at the Internet of Things meetup. There's actually a video of that, and this was my first slide. Our mission is to build a decentralized, open and crowdsourced IoT data network operated by its users, owned by its users, and yeah, a really like perfect group of people stood up. 10 people, maybe can raise your hands. Bob, Foko, Wits, yeah, Martijn, Mr. New meeting afterwards. And we created Slack, so we started talking about how we're going to do this. And the next day, this was our first meeting. This was 2 days after. This is 5 weeks ago from now, actually. And so we drafted the rules on like how we should build such networks. So we said the network cannot have any single point of control or single point of failure. So we try to embed all these decentralized patterns and ideas into what we do. So that for instance, if one gateway breaks, it's still the whole network still works. If for instance one server goes down, the rest of the systems can take over. So we started to do that. We drafted the architecture. Johan was at Hackers Paradise, that's a developers holiday summer camp in Barcelona. So he was on Skype all the time, and this was our second meeting. And so we had this web to brains. So we had the stuff because we could order the hardware from Curling. Jan, where are you? Yeah, here it is, the guy from France. And so we knew that we could build this architecture. We knew this was possible. And then we said, okay, if we're gonna give this to the world, let's start with proofs. So we start with, okay, this is actually gonna work. So our plan was we're gonna cover the city of Amsterdam, and the second one is we're gonna create a use case. Because we thought the best way to prove this works is to build something that end-to-end works, and actually that people that's useful for people. So together with Sander is an artist from Amsterdam, digital artist. I had a little brainstorm, and I was talking about this technology, and I was talking about maybe we should do something with boats or in Amsterdam. And then we came up with the idea that let's make a sensor that you can put in your boat. If your boat fills up with water, you get an SMS. If you respond with a hostmar, so you clear my boat, the service would come by and remove the water from your boat. So a really tangible example that's easy it's easy to explain the concept. So this was the plan. Crowdsource in Amsterdam and have a use case. So then the crowdsourcing was the next challenge. So these things are costing around 1,500 euros. So and we needed around 10. So we started talking to different people, and for instance, one of the first was the Next Web. I thought it was very interesting when we moved right away. One other thing, interesting thing is there's the co-working space both in Bali, and they decided to crowdsource the gateway within their workspace, which was really interesting. I think we did it in 1 day, so one day, great. So, but also other companies, for instance, KPMG offered in setting up our governance structure. Deloitte offers in helping with security audits on the network. Port of Amsterdam, really interesting case to have here as well, because it's a really industrial use case, it's just Port of Amsterdam serious business, and also some other use cases. Trackies is a things finder. Here once you hook this up to the land grids, and you know where your stuff is going. We share Solar wants to track the power efficiency of the power output of their solar panels. I can get them all installed. But so conclusion, a lot of people want to incorporate, and in 2 weeks we had all the people. So these were the use cases on top of this. So next to that, these parties want to contribute to the network. There's also people that want to contribute because they're actually going to use the network. The examples I just gave. So I think 1 hour ago, Foko, where are you?
Here.
Here. Foko installed the last gateway, and here I present you the first crowdsourced Internet of Things data network here in Amsterdam. And we as a team are very proud of this, and it was like 5 weeks of a lot of fun, and then Wednesday we announced it. We started off with an article on the Next Web, and then it went really fast online. And of course, you will see a lot of people tweeting it, finding it interesting. But the most interesting thing I thought is that I got a lot of emails, requests of people who want to join. So, for instance, this guy is the advisor of the CPO of the White House. He's one to do this for all cities in America. This is an island. I didn't know that it exists. It's Margaret's Vineyard. It's New York is here, and this is an island. And we know where can I order these gateways to cover my entire island. The people from Amsterdam want to contribute as well. People from the Smart City Lab in Ghent. Just like a lot of these emails. Just, how can I help us? So that was really cool. And so what's next? So we launched in Amsterdam. To go back, we had an hypothesis: can we build such a network? Can we crowdsource such a network? And we validated in Amsterdam. But our goal was to do a worldwide network of this kind. So next steps for us is to grow the community, to get people on board doing open source software. So all the things, of course, we do is open source. And we need to have campaign runners for cities. So we're going to recruit or look for people that want to do these kind of campaigning in their own geographic. And of course, we need people to build a network. And here in Amsterdam, we saw that it went quite smoothly, but still we felt like 1,500 euros is a lot of money. It's a single investment. We do not get anything in return. Maybe some attention, or you can be part of the story, but yeah, it's still 1,500 euros out of pocket, and that's it. And so we were talking to product agency Trade-Toner, here from Rotterdam, and we thought, why don't we make a gateway, so a piece of network equipment that has somewhat the same capabilities, but it's $200. And they already had these plans, and we started thinking about how should we do this. So we drafted a plan to create such a thing. We thought, okay, if we're gonna put this on the market, we need to address the innovators, so the people that are really the early adopters. So we need to provide them with some kind of development board. Everybody probably knows the Arduino. And what we did is we created an Arduino, and that is the same form factor, and that is LoRaWAN enabled. And the interesting thing is, if you see these pins here, if you're not familiar with Arduino, you can put a board on top of it, and then it works. So if you already have Arduino and you have your board, you can put it on this Arduino, so your project is directly connected to the internet. And we're going to create a button as well, and the button is just for people that do not know how to work with Arduino. But this button connects to the gateway, and then it connects to if this then that. And a lot of more people know how to work with if this then that. It's a online ruling engine, and so you can experiment with that. You can build prototypes with this as well. And our goal with this is to also share this knowledge as well. So all the hardware designs, all the knowledge that's gained from putting this in mass production is being open sourced and open to everybody, with the goal that other people will create these similar products and make gateways for the Things Network and make this go faster. And the Tecton is going to tell more about this a bit later. So yeah, so the rest of the day is going to be short, informative, more promotional talks. Johan is going to tell a bit about the technical architecture of this, of the Things Network. Then we've got Tecton talking about the Kickstarter, the $200 Kickstarter gateway. Asa is going to do something talk about LoRaWAN from space. Sodak is going to talk about using this technology to go after rhino poachers. But Telenor is an ISP from Norway. Yes. Norway. They're doing a smart building project. Trackers is going to tell a bit about things tracking service. 30 megahertz, the IT integrator of the Port of Amsterdam, is going to tell us about their projects there, and Framework after that is going to tell a bit about their beacon model, and then Ruud, raise your hand, there's Ruud, he is here, is going to lead the hackathon, and we've got a lot of hardware, we've got our network set up, we've got suppliers providing information, tools, everything, so we're going to make a whole workshop set up here and play around with the hardware. And today we're going to have, I'm going to do a small recap of what was done today for the people that were able to be here. So on behalf of the team, we're really proud we're here. We're really welcome here as well, and let's make this a really good day. And let's get the word to Johan. And because of the heat, I think we're going to do a bit more breaks because that's so.
So I'm really happy to see so many people here. Thanks, Winky, for your introduction. I hope the concept of the Internet of Things is clear for most of you. What I want to do is to go quickly through our architecture and the way we design the Things Network, how you can use it as an app developer, and also how you can contribute as a developer. So one of the principles, the first one we have is it's open source, it's open hardware, We do it in a decentralized way. We don't want to have any single point of failures. It's distributed, multi-platform, and most importantly, it's community-driven. So we work with a great community so far. We want to expand it. And these are the principles that we all believe in because we think this is the way to do it. Imagine this is a map. The gateways, every circle is a gateway on the world. And it has a reach. We have different types of gateways, different colors. We work with multiple types of gateways for this, and then we have our clouds. And these is our container. It's the software we developed, and it works already. And we are very busy, still finalizing this. But I will come back to the application later. If there is a node you see in the middle, it has it's in intersection of 3 gateways. One event from a specific location can be picked up by multiple gateways. That's already one of the things that makes the network decentralized. And then an event is sent to the server from the gateway. And it depends on the configuration of the gateway to which server it's sent, and it can be multiple servers. So imagine that the big one in the middle is ours. We host it, so people can use it, but you can also install your own server and configure the gateway to send data to your own gateway. And that's for any gateway, basically. In the top, these are the application servers. It's the users that use our system, but it can also be a parse backend, or if this and that, anything where we send our data to. The cloud is, for now, it's a Docker container. You can install it. It runs already. We have an endpoint where we receive data from the different gateways that can be specific for gateways, and we are working with different protocols to get the data. It's in an internal queue. We store it in databases, and we make it available on the top to application developers to use, or other Internet of Things platforms. So this is more passing data through in a decentralized manner. So how to use this? So we work with LoRaWAN. It's the 1.0 specification that was released just before the summer. And you can use our hosted service without having to install anything, but you can do that yourself as well. And we invite you to work with us to develop your apps. Because for us it's also quite new. We have some ideas in mind, but if you have any idea, then please come to us or join the hackathon this afternoon. For us, the next steps are elaborating the architecture and validate it with our partners and app developers to see what works best. We learn from implementing use cases. We learn a lot, for example, from the water sensor use case and the others we are working on. And there's a lot of things to develop still. For example, the routing mechanism is still in its early stage. We need supervision services, operational management, and that's what we need the community for as well. We have a team of 6, 7, 8 developers already. If you want to contribute, you can check out our repositories. We're going to make them public this afternoon. If you're a developer and want to help, find me and shoot me an email. And we're happy to work with you. Thank you. Right. I think it's gone.
Take over now.
I will do the introduction. This is John Tillema. He is from TheThingsNetwork. We do a Kickstarter with him to develop a gateway. We do that together because the TheThingsNetwork is not really a hardware company, and we like to partner with other companies. And this is a great example of a good collaboration. And John is going to tell us more about the gateway and the role of LoRa. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. Do you have my slides? Or? That's it? Oh, okay. Already uploaded. All this technical stuff with all technical guys, you would have thought that everything would be smooth. Yeah? Can I have my laptop, please?
I have one too.
Okay, I'll start anyway. For this afternoon, hi everybody. I see a lot of familiar faces today, but for those who don't know, we're TheThingsNetwork, and to get the worst to start with, we're from Rotterdam. Sorry. And yes, I can't help it, but yeah, you guys in Amsterdam needed us, so yeah, we're here. Now, we are a product design agency, research and development, and actually we're focusing on connected products, and developing them and also getting them to mass production. To do that, we have embedded system engineers, software engineers, lots of other product designers, so we're looking not on the outside and the inside. Yeah, well, before let's see. Should go on the window. Okay. I just want to know before I talk any further, who here have you heard about LoRa 1 before they entered the room? That really makes it a lot easier, about 50% something. Who here everybody used Arduino before when you started it? Oh, who didn't? Sorry? Okay, not that bad. And then think a little bit where we can start today, because we're talking a little bit about the products that we designed actually a little bit before we knew the Things Network, but in the end it turned out a perfect match for the Things Network. Yeah, that's a view from our little studio in Rotterdam. And yeah, we also do a lot of work for clients, that's what we normally do. But actually, when we're working for clients, sometimes we come up with something that, well, we don't have a client for anymore. Or not yet, anyway. So we started to develop something, and then in the end we find a partner for it. And actually this LoRa product was exactly that. We already found it interesting a couple of months before. And only a month ago, we heard from Wieke the plan that he had with the Things Network. We were immediately on board. We already started developing a gateway. We didn't have any use for it, but we thought it could be cheaper, it could be easier, how hard can it be, that kind of things. So yeah, you saw from Wieke, we came up with 3 products to make the most out of the Things Network. And of course, the gateway is the biggest and the biggest impact, so let's start with that one. This one is actually the photo model, so it looks like, and I have it with me, you can expect it, but the one that actually works like is a lot bigger right now. That's one of the things, of course, why we have the Kickstarter. But the idea behind it is that you can stick it on a wall or on a window, and it's really dedicated for home use. So, not like the big one, everything is double. It's easy, it's for connected with Wi-Fi, for instance. But it also connects to the Ethernet cable. It also gets a GPS location on there. Well, there's still some things with the firmware to be worked out before everything works, but We want to make sure that the hardware is completely fixed with that. And it's based on a Linux kernel, so all open source as well, to make sure that we, together, if somebody comes up with a new firmware that works better, we're completely open with that. And for Aurora, we're developing it now for the 868 here in Europe, but of course we're also looking at the frequencies used in the US or in Asia, to make sure that we can have a global presence with it. And yeah, it's true, this thing is completely designed to be cost low and down as possible. But yeah, it's our benefit will, so $200 will be the target price at Kickstarter. That of course involves also the on-board making and all the distribution. And actually we hope that after the Kickstarter, when we open source all the plans, that actually somebody stands up with all the facilities to make it even cheaper as that. But yeah, together we can make it possible. And then, like Winke told, we also wanted to help everybody developing with it. Because if you want to get started now with Aurora, of course you can hang this router, this gateway at your home place. Everybody can do it, just plug it in and it works. But then what? Then you want to make something. So when we started developing this, we think that the Arduino Uno would be the best platform to do it. It's familiar, it has a lot of shields, completely open. So actually we made one that's completely compatible with the Arduino IDE. And this one is actually completely working. But it's now built on a module, and in the end, Kickstarter, we want to test the cost down even more as well. To make sure that we can build them in mass quantities and make sure that every school can have one, universities, everybody that wants to play around with the TheThingsNetwork should be able to. But then the last one, actually we are proud of that one. That one is a really ready-made product. And you can decide what kind of use case you want to use with it. For instance, it can be a smart doorbell, or it can be anything else. We pre-wrapped it with a temperature sensor, a light sensor and a movement sensor, but also a button and an RGB LED. And it all in a battery-powered, weatherproof casing. So, I mean, come on, you can't come up with a user case that is won't be ready to test it. You can give it out to users, anyone start with it, and immediately send some data to the TheThingsNetwork. And of course, when you're ready with this, you can make a dedicated one that looks better, or fits your purposes better. But this can get you started like in a day, when everybody rolls it out. So this, yeah, really helped us and everybody here. And then, Winke already told it, so it should have been my big Steve Jobs moment that I thought that, and wait, it's also open source, everybody would have been, way, but thank you. Because we're going to do it together, that's the whole idea. You're going to share all the knowledge, share all the chips, share all the data, all the design files, 3D print it yourself, make it your own, improve it, make it better, make it cheaper. Yeah, so that's it. That's what we're all about, that's what we do. And that's why you need to back us on Kickstarter. Here's your pledge, of course. And it will be live, we don't know yet before, but I think the first week of September. But if you're still logged on to the meetup group or leave your email address at the TheThingsNetwork, I'm sure Winke will get in touch and everybody will be sorted out. So that's for now. Thanks. Sure. Steal my left.
Next up is Carl from Asia.
Good afternoon. My name is Frank Zetterveld. I'm working for the European Space Agency. We are located in Noordwijk, not so far from here. What we do in daily business basically is funding research and development for satellite communication. And we are busy already supplying with LoRa and also with LoRa interfaces, because actually we would like to expand the whole LoRa business or other interfaces a bit more globally in areas where there will never be any terrestrial connectivity, like Africa, oceans, and so on. But basically, we appreciate very much the whole idea that has been brought up by this whole distributed network, and actually we would like that this is, with satellites, let's say, expanded globally in certain areas where we think there will never be any terrestrial connectivity. So we think there will be lots of things to be done in Africa and maritime and aeronautical even things that will be extremely roaming behavior, etc. And the idea is to see could we use LoRa for tracking those devices, communicating with hopefully minimal changes to the whole LoRa gateways and area interfaces. So basically, what we try to do now, we have let's say currently a satellite which is it's like the same height as a television satellite, so it's 30,000 kilometers away. So that's a bit different than the 5 kilometer range. But still, the LoRa technology provides enormous range. And if you would not have obstructions like in the city, but basically beam up instead of the necessity to go to all that buildings, you could make quite a long link structure in the city. You have quite a long range. We have done initial tests with another air interface, so that is not LoRa, but it looks a bit like that. For the experts, it's also kind of spectrum signal. Also with 300 milliwatts, let's say you can reach this geostationary satellite and come back to Earth. So that would mean if you would have sensors here in Africa, beaming 300 milliwatt only, let's say you could cover the whole of Africa with those sensors. Again, low power, low bandwidth, exactly the same as LoRa. And we're going to try that with LoRa too, because we think the economies of scale of, let's say, of these devices as a sensor, yeah, that is really worthwhile to investigate. Good. Be aware that, let's say, we beam now with 300 milliwatts. We tested that. In some regions and countries, LoRa could use 500 milliwatts. So I think we're already quite well, but we have to get it down. Next, we can also use a satellite which is circling the Earth, let's say so-called polar satellite. The best would, of course, be if you would have, let's say, a trade tolling gateway on the satellite. And in particular, you see also the space community much more crowdfunding and, let's say, cooperation. So people could basically have their own satellite. You can do that for a few €200,000. That's not low activity. And you could put a LoRa gateway on it. And the distance between such a satellite, that's only 500 kilometers. That link budget, according to us, a small sensor, again, under the 500 and 250 milliwatt, closes the link to a 500 kilometer high satellite. So that's very interesting. Again, if you can use the whole LoRa equipment. We'll skip that. This is a bit what we're testing now. Just to give an example of the real tests. We've received some equipment, first also from John, thank you, from the Trade for some early tests. Now we're talking with more equipment with IMSD, that is one of the providers of LoRa gateways and also, let's say, packaging through chips. But basically, we have a LoRa node here, and it goes into something which emulates the satellite. It hammers the signal, it reduces the signal, it makes lots of interference, and then we try to get it out. So we've received actually the right firmware only yesterday, so unfortunately no test results, we're waiting for that. But interesting enough, in the satellite environment, it will be completely different as a city. We will have to do more talk plug, etc. So that's what we're doing, and this would lead then to global LoRa, basically using satellite. That would be quite a nice step. Just wanted to mention some other things, because having the opportunity for the developer community, we will initiate a contract now. It's open for tender, which is for the modular phones, like Google ARA, Nextbug, phone blocks, etc., for some subcom module. We believe it has links with LoRa, low power communication, etc. And the other thing is that we're going to do next year is to have a larger contract for, let's say, the makerspace community to, let's say, engage them more in the area of satellite communication. Good. Last thing, just wanted to make aware, because actually we are a funding agency. We have money and we want to spend it. That is the our daily work, actually, with a bit of technical background. We wanted to make you aware that if you have good ideas in this whole LoRa community, and it has to do with satellite communications, we are fully open to match funding and let's say, get interesting projects ongoing. It has to do with subcom, but we are open for the rest for everything. That's it. We hope to basically have tests in 2 weeks or so to improve LoRa. Thank you.
let's do a small break, so you can catch some air, and then let's go back at 10 past 2.